I'm Norbert Sparrow, editor of Plastics Today, and I'm joined today by Missy Rogers, president of Noble Plastics, which is a custom injection molder based in Louisiana. And the reason I've invited Missy to talk to us today is because the company had a fairly exciting announcement yesterday about some developments at the company. So, Missy, can you fill us in on what's going on?
Sure. And thanks again for reaching out to us, Norbert. So I think the announcement yesterday shows the resiliency and expansion in the energy sector. Noble Plastics was founded by myself and my husband 25 years ago. Here in southern Louisiana, the energy sector is the main economy. And we're being very deliberate in using energy instead of oil and gas because it's not a choice of which energy method of production the country depends on. It's a matter of and so it's oil and gas and green or renewables. And so for this community to embrace and welcome a solar company into it and their commitment to be America's solar company extends to their value and supply chain. So they are walking the talk and came to locally vet a supply chain. And they discovered us. We were very happy to be recognized, and we've always enjoyed a good reputation within the industry. In our 25 years, we've spent more than 20 of that in the defense space, in ordnance, and very tightly defined and toleranced parts. What we've done in the energy sector for the whole 25 years has been heavily filled engineered materials, largely in metal replacement applications, both offshore and onshore. And so we tend to be the kind of company that accepts the responsibility for making parts that matter. And I think our willingness and mindset to use both science and technology to create those robust systems, to create those outcomes, helped us stand out to First Solar because it's very consistent to their commitments to quality and process control.
So this supply agreement, can you tell us a little bit more about it? I understand that it leads to an expansion at your company and some new jobs, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's a multi-year commitment, and they have clearly invested a lot more than we have. They have put in a facility just down the road from us at in excess of $1 billion of construction. It's something like 100 times the size of the New Orleans Superdome.
Hmm.
The facility and all of the supply chain expansion around it are significant. And so for us, we are just up the road. We have two facilities today. We will be doing some groundbreaking and expansion of the physical location where I am at the main plant. It tends to be our smaller tonnage machines. And so we'll be doing some expansion to the production floor, some expansion to the office space, and the major difference will be the warehousing. We'll be bringing in a lot more materials. We'll be supporting them with some just-in-time supply and maintaining some inventory. And so most of the footprint expansion here is going to be warehousing.
Okay. Does it involve any new injection molding equipment or anything like that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, we have some
We're
readers who'd be interested to know.
in the smaller tonnage range. We're an exclusively Arberg shop.
Hmm.
And so we're very happy with the quality of those machines and the ease with which they integrate into our scientific molding systems and automation systems. And our other facility that's larger, we have a mix of machinery providers. But yes, here at this facility, it's a completely Arberg shop.
Well, a storied company for sure. Um, have I kind of I was wondering if the tariffs have had any effect on buying German injection molding equipment, or I know they have a facility in the U.S., but I don't know that they build anything there, or maybe they do.
I think it's a mixed bag of what's produced here versus what's produced in the EU. So there is a tariff impact.
Hmm.
They've been a great partner to us, and so they are very proactive in both their sales and technical support groups. And so I think with us having this expansion ongoing and them honoring our commitment to them, um, they're being very competitive with their package.
Good to hear. And I'm not surprised. Um, so in the news release, you mentioned a shared commitment between your company and First Solar in terms of U.S. manufacturing. So based on your experience, are you seeing a renaissance of domestic production or not?
So we are, and I think a lot of what we've seen, the defense industry itself has always been domestic. You are seeing some more players from the European market putting a footprint in the continental 48 to expand access to that market. Um, but we have just in the last 2 to 3 years, even prior to the immediate tariff situation, we've been seeing far more inquiries from European firms looking for a North American footprint. And I think some of that's due to the supply chain upsets and transportation jams that occurred post-COVID. And so I think it's a much broader movement than just the last 4 to 6 months of an administration's policy. I think it's just getting to be good business to have production in the population that's going to consume your products. And anything that helps facilitate that technology use, the speed of response and insight into their manufacturing supply chain, I think makes a European parent company more comfortable. We were early adherents of scientific molding, and we've always had a very, very aggressive monitoring and information sharing network. And so even when a client might not be local or even regional, these clients that are overseas are not having any difficulty or confidence concerns when they can see in real time the effectiveness of our manufacturing floor.
Right. I want to go back to we were talking about your expansion, and I think the news release also mentioned hiring. Can you give us any idea of what types of jobs are going to be opening up?
So we're a fully automated factory, and as such, we do have production operators whose tasks are largely quality inspectors. All of our cells being supported by FANUC industrial robots. We are a FANUC integrator and have been self-integrating for 23 years. Our people largely are technical inspectors. They're validating data coming off of the inline inspection systems. They're programmers, they're troubleshooters, they're setup technicians. And so all of those teams will enjoy increases. The setup team, the maintenance team, the operator inspector teams, and the engineering teams who do the launch and design of those manufacturing cells.
And I guess good high-paying jobs, right?
Yes, and in
What we want.
Louisiana, our state administration has rolled out some very attractive new incentive programs for exactly that. So the parish that we're in is very financially, economically distressed, and our wages are considerably higher than the parish average. And so we get a few percent of that back, which really is just a mechanism for us to continue our commitments to local schools. We scholarship, we help sponsor and support technology development, robotic deployment, robot teams, scouting clubs. There's a lot of interaction that we enjoy with our community. And so the state sweetening things by a few percents just makes it that much easier to just give it right back.
Good to hear. Great. Um, of course, as you mentioned, you provide molding services to the defense sector, solar, obviously. Any other sectors or industries that are part of your mix?
Yeah, I would think the bulk of our clients, although there are many in the energy sector, even those within the sector, we're providing machinery components, um, um, precision parts that go into larger assemblies.
Hmm.
So that industrial client base ranges the gamut from um, veterinary supply for surgical purposes, um, medical institutional pill dispensaries, machines, um, packaging and logistics machinery, um, electronics and communication hardware, brackets, fixtures. Um, so all of that grouping of industrial products really touches a lot of different industries.
Great. So Missy, just to wrap up, I think you said the company is about 20 years old. Did I get that right?
25 this year.
25. Congratulations. It's a good
Thank
run.
you.
So tell us a little bit about your professional background. I think you've covered the company's capabilities. I don't think we need to go into that much more unless you want to, but just, where are you coming from?
So I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm a registered professional engineer in the state of Louisiana. And my early career was in petrochem, reliability, and forensic engineering. And my husband, who is also a mechanical engineer, lived deeply in that world and was brought into the local energy sector for machinery and system design, and found that while the region has an enormous amount of fabrication and metal shops, welding shops, capability, this region did not enjoy a great population of plastics molders. And as their products and environmental concerns evolved, he said, I think there's a real opportunity here for a plastics company. Our kids were approaching school age, and so I was looking to rejoin the workforce. And rather than going back into petrochem, which can be very demanding young family, he said, why don't we start a plastics company? And plastics were not in my background, but I love making things. We get very energized and geekish when it comes to manufacturing and making product. And so that interest, and it turned out to be a high demand industry for this area. This was before you saw the automotive companies moving into the Southern Belt. And so today, I don't think anybody really thinks anything of a plastics molder in the I-10 corridor, but I can tell you 25 years ago, we were out here on the frontier. It was hard. It was hard to get machine components. It was hard to get hydraulic valves and hoses for our machinery because everything was being done for offshore and energy. Nobody knew what we were asking for. But clearly, we've enjoyed success. Our staff and our recruiting from universities and local trade schools has been very successful because I think people like to create and people like to make things. And the pride that you can take in producing a good product, in producing a dependable product, is really the kind of drumbeat to our circulatory system that helps us serve clients. It helps us serve our team and each other.
Great. Well, that's a great pitch. Well, thank you, Missy, for taking the time to talk to us about Noble Plastics, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you so much. You've been so kind.